So I wasn't really up for what the original assignment was supposed to be. So I decided to do the alternate assignment, and for the same reason that I wasn't satisfied with having to do the original assignment, I also wasn't satisfied with having to do the alternate assignment. Now you may be wondering, what is it about this assignment that really deters me so much to the point that I have to make my own assignment, my own alternate assignment to do for this project? Well, it's just that I don't have anybody in my life who I really see as a hero. Actually, on top of that, I don't really believe in the concept of heroism at all, really. So I decided to do my own alternate assignment, which is really about what heroism actually is, and why I don't really believe in the concept of heroism. Now you'd have to ask yourself, first of all, what makes a hero? Is it somebody who stands up for their country and supports them patriotically no matter what? Well, okay, yeah, but in that sense, you'd have to say that Nazis are also heroes, and, well, we're pretty used to seeing them as the bad guys. Okay. Well, maybe it's somebody who always does the right thing. But then again, the right thing is different for everyone. Case in point with the Nazis once again. Alright, well, maybe a hero is somebody who's inspiring, who is able to spread a positive message to everybody out there. Well, okay, like a political speaker or something? I mean, Nixon gave some pretty positive speeches, even if they were all mostly lies. This is tricky. Let's take a step back from this, then. Are there really any qualifications to being a hero? Maybe you just have to be inspiring to one person in particular. That should be the case, but really that's just up to interpretation of the person who may or may not recognize somebody else as a hero. Maybe heroism just depends on somebody else's perspective. Maybe there's somebody else who, when they see somebody doing the right thing, then they see that person as a hero. But how many times do you really need to do the right thing in order to be considered a hero? And how many people actually have to see that as the right thing? I mean, because morality is subjective, you can't always do the right thing. So, maybe heroism is subjective as well? If it's subjective, just like morality is, then there's nothing that really defines what it is. So, does that mean that it really exists? Is it possible for it to exist? Maybe it just exists because that's the way that our society is built. Our society is built around the idea of what a hero should do. Well, okay, what does our society see as heroic? Well, if you're saving the lives of a lot of people from, well, I don't know, let's say a fire, then you could be considered heroic. If you're stopping people who are trying to commit some sort of crime, like, bank robbers or something like that, that could be heroic too if you actually end up stopping them in the end. But then again, in the eyes of the people who are trying to rob the bank and people who think similarly to them, you're not a hero at all. You're just a nuisance. Well, yeah, but in order to be a true hero, does it really matter what somebody who is unheroic thinks about you? But then again, the people who are seen as unheroic, maybe in the eyes of each other or in the eyes of somebody else, they're seen as heroic. So, heroism is still subjective. So does it exist? Does it exist? Does it exist? In the end, I suppose it really is subjective and depends on the eye of the beholder. Just like how beauty is in the eye of the beholder, truth is in the eye of the beholder, so is heroism. And what do I think heroism is? In my eyes, what's really considered to be heroic? I don't know. Yes, it's true that saving millions of lives is heroic, but if you're a soldier who goes into the military, are you really saving millions of lives? It's not really the soldier who is a hero, but it's the soldiers themselves working together as a collective that makes them all heroes. But in the eyes of an enemy, in the eyes of another country against whom we're fighting, those soldiers are enemies, and their soldiers are heroes. We're back to subjective heroism again. Subjective morality. But then again, their soldiers do the same thing as our soldiers. So, maybe it's not subjective in the end. Maybe it's not about who a person is, but rather about what a person does. And that really would make sense, if not for one loophole in that line of thinking. To the enemy, we are the enemy because we are attacking them. To the enemy, they are the hero because they are attacking us. In the end, it doesn't really matter what you do or who you are. Somebody's gonna see you as the bad guy, as long as somebody else sees you as the good guy. You really shouldn't focus on being a hero in everybody's eyes if it's impossible like that. You should really just strive to be a hero in the eyes of some, in the eyes of the people who you want to see you as a hero. After all, if you try to please everyone, then at the end of the day you're gonna end up pleasing no one. So it should only make sense that you should only focus on being a hero to a few people. The people who you think you want to see you as a hero. Which is fine and all, there's nothing wrong with that. But maybe the problem is just me. Maybe it's because I don't see anybody as a hero, and because I fail to see what heroism is. Maybe that's why I don't believe in heroism. Maybe that's why in the end I just can't wrap my mind around what it is. I don't understand it, so I don't believe in it. Well, it would be a lot more humble than just assuming that it doesn't exist and saying that that's just the way the world is. So I could say that in my own eyes, heroism doesn't exist. In the eyes of many, yes, it does. But to me, I have no hero. One man's hero is another man's villain. As far as I'm concerned, by applying that logic, either everyone's a hero or everyone's a villain. And, well, I don't really think that everybody's a hero. I don't think it's possible that every single person lives up to those expectations. And in the end, everybody's a villain anyway. So, that about sums everything up. I'm gonna be honest, I don't expect getting a grade for this. But I mean, I guess turning this in late is better than turning nothing in at all, which is kind of... Well, it wasn't my only other option, obviously, but I just really wasn't comfortable with just... But I really wasn't comfortable with just, I don't know, humoring the idea that that heroism really is what everybody says it is. Well, if I don't get a grade for this, well, thank you for wasting your time with this, and I apologize for wasting your time at the same time, but whatever. If I do, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really feel like I deserve it.